Hello, I'm Cosmic Jack. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Got a new setup for y'all. New things are happening, and I know July has been such a clearing for people, myself included. Like literally we've been not doing nothing but opening space. That's what it really feels like. I know for me, like so many of my past patterns and emotions and energies has been clearing out in the last month. That's just kind of what happens when you upgrade and elevate and up level your entire life. Is like a lot of stuff has to fall away and fall out, and being cracked open to so much more and new levels, and just even like sides of myself that I didn't even know existed. I'm like, yeah, you go girl, you go girl. And really building myself up in new ways, and my creativity has been like next fucking level. And I'm like, oh right, like this is what is available when you are grounded and when you are good and when you are solid in yourself. So much opens up for you and to you, and that's the whole reason we do the work, right? And so this really brings me to August. I can't believe we're already entering August, about to enter August. It's been such a weird, wild, kind of like tumultuous in ways, a bit of a year. I know, at least for myself, and so many things are in motion and happening now. Like it's all been like led up to this, and really what I am feeling for this month is so much is coming to fruition. And here's the thing that people, I think, maybe not that they don't understand this about manifestation, but it's a different thing to actually go through it once you're there. Like, because when you welcome in the new and you're calling in something new, you're necessarily not prepared to fully experience everything that is required to maintain and be a match to that thing. I'm going to take a relationship for an example, because it's just really easy. Like you can manifest a partner. Like I always say, attracting a man is fucking easy. It's literally the easiest thing in the world. But being able to like be emotionally available in new ways, hold intimacy in new ways, hold safety in new ways, hold your womanhood in new ways, open your heart through the stress and the contraction and the expansion in new ways. All of the things that are required in a relationship, like you can train all you want for that, right? Like you can do the warm-ups, you can train, but until you're actually in that relationship, like nothing can really prepare you for it. And that's really what I feel like August is about, is like we're kind of doing the growing pains of everything that's come to fruition and manifestation in our life. And so a lot of new things are coming to creation because we've done the work to clear things out. And so we're like all this creativity, all of this romance, right? All of this play, all of this pleasure, all this sacral chakra, right? The sacral is about creation. And this is what Leo is about. Leo is about the heart. It's about creation. It is about play. It is about pleasure. And so you have to be able to love yourself so hard through the almost mess of sometimes what is required for you to maintain and really elevate yourself in new ways. And so if you like are not giving yourself a lot of love and grace through the growing pains, it's like that's really going to be what determines what sticks and what doesn't. And you know, really having the confidence to go for it and to hold yourself in the mess and not allow it to have you shrink back into old ways and old patterns and like just planes of existence, right? I keep joking about this with my girlfriend because for me, like I moved up to the top floor of my building, and so there's a very specific discernment with this new level of me rather than the old one. So I'm like, was that 27th floor Jack, or is this penthouse floor Jack? You know what I mean? And so there's a very sharp discernment between the woman who is a match to this level of myself and this level of my life and this woman versus the past, right? And so it's for me having a lot of self-love and a lot of self-confidence and a lot of strength, inner strength, to hold myself in this new level and not allow myself to go back to past patterns. And that's the thing, and that's why it's so vulnerable for you to actually be successful, because people don't bond over their success, right? People don't bond over the glow up, people bond over where they're at. And that's why it's so hard sometimes to free yourself from your past, because it's like one crab gets out of the fucking crab pot and all the other crabs want to pull it back down with it, where it's safe and where it's comfortable. And so your next level of yourself, your next level iteration of yourself requires you to be something different to you that you've never been, right? Because there's going to be people who of course support you, there's going to be people who grow along with you, but there's going to be people you standing in your light in new ways is going to reflect to them where they are not, right? And so you're really having to show up for yourself in new ways this month so that you can be and maintain the match to your manifestations to receive. And you have to be able to build yourself up and hold yourself up and be authentic and love yourself through it and really just have your own back no matter fucking what, because there's no going back to the past. There's no more shrinking. There's no more settling. There's no more staying small. There's no more confiding, or not confiding, but like keeping ourselves comfortable for other people, right? And giving yourself permission to be the star of your life, to hold a lot of light, to hold a lot of love, because we do this work to experience the joy and the play and the pleasure, and you work too hard to get to where you're at to be robbed of that. Confirmation burp. And so this month is a 7 month, right? But it really feels like a very powerful month. It's an 8 month, we're in an 8 year. 8 is like abundance, baby. It is power. But 8 plus 8 is 16, which is a 7, which really is about the spiritual practice that's required to hold a lot of power, a lot of abundance, a lot of influence, right? Leos are highly influential. You can't be influential when you're busy trying to resonate with everyone else. When you're busy trying to be relatable with other people, you can't be influential, right? Influencers are influencers for a reason, because they're not fucking relatable. You know, it's like they've taken themselves out of reality to influence. And that's what Leo's is about. It's the heart. It is vulnerable. It is open. And you have to have a lot of bravery and a lot of courage to lead with your light and lead with your heart and put yourself out there in new ways. And to do that, you really have to have your own back and be your own bestie, and really just know that whatever comes, you got it. It's like, you got it, girl. You got to be your own hype girl. You got to be your own cheerleader. Because if you're not going to do it in the beginning, like, you can't wait for validation from anyone else. You have to validate yourself, and you have to know who you are and hold yourself in that truth no matter what happens, and really hold yourself in that positive light and hold yourself in that royalty. Leos are about the royalty, baby. It is like the crown royal. It is the creme de la creme, right? And you being in your confidence and you being positive, who the fuck cares what happens outside of that, right? Because it's all about you, baby, and your personal magic. Because when you are in your own happiness and in your joy, this is how you give from overflow, right? If you've never been loved by a Leo, you're missing out, right? Leos are the best lovers in the zodiac because they're ruled by the heart and they have so much love to give. But it's like, you got to give that love to yourself first. And we had Chiron station retrograde this week, which is about the self, right? How can you show up for yourself in new ways? And with Leo, it's about the self-love, right? And we're going to have Venus in some interesting aspects this week. It's going to, I believe, trine, I have it written down somewhere. But basically, this Venus is going to be spotlit this August. It's going to move into Virgo, the sign of the maiden. And it's really going to be in this T-square between Jupiter and Saturn and Venus. So they're all going to be in this kind of like fighting energy. And so you have to be able to know and hold your worth and hold your value and hold your trust with yourself and really edge yourself out there and put your heart out there and put your authenticity out there in new ways and really hold yourself in your light. Because if you want, you know, the queens don't shrivel. The queens don't dim their fucking light for other people. You know what I mean? And you gotta really just, and here's the thing, a lot of people have fucking opinions about the queen. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people have a lot to fucking say about the queen, and the queen just has to hold her light, you know, and be okay with that and be cool with that. And so this month, this August, it really is about holding yourself in your happiness and holding yourself in your joy and not letting anything externally dim that. And I always say, it's like, don't let anyone pee on your fucking Cheerios. Don't let anyone yuck your yum. It's like, whatever is authentic and true for you, that is all that matters. We are going to have Venus square Uranus. To start the month, we have a new moon in Leo. There's a lot of crazy astrology, right? Coming through this August. We have a full moon in Aquarius square Uranus. We have Jupiter square Saturn. We have a Mercury retrograde. It will retrograde in Virgo and then move back into Leo. So there's going to be some drama this month. We also have Mars square Neptune. There's going to be some drama, guys. Like, I'm kind of excited just because of the way it's hitting my chart. It's hitting my 5th house and my 7th house. And so I'm like, plus, you know, my full moon in Aquarius is like, hello, it's me. This is what I always joke with, like my South Node in Leo and my 5th house moon. I was born and the star was born, right? And then I had to really unpack all of the ways in which I then became small, right? And so that I could fully liberate myself again to be seen, which, if that is resonant for you, definitely jump inside of Venetian Bitch, because that's exactly what we're moving through. Really allowing yourself to be liberated and expressed in your heart so that you can be seen and have a relationship with your own energy so that you can really make manifestation a way of life. But this August is really setting you up for all of your heart's desires to come through, whether that be romance, whether that be a move, whether that be a vacation in Italy, whether that be a new explosive creativity, whether that be like new milestones in your business, like confirmation burp. It's like everything that you want could happen by the end of August, but you have to love yourself through the fucking mess, and you have to love yourself through it no matter what, and you have to have your own back no matter what, because things that have been planted 6 months ago are now coming to fruition, and you worked so hard to get yourself here that you're not going back. Don't give yourself going back is not an option. Take option B, which is the past, off the fucking table, and you have to actually now figure out a way through, which is now plan A. When you take the past off the table, you have nothing to go back on, right? You only get to create the new. So if you were able to create whatever the fuck you wanted, what would you actually create? If you didn't have any stories attached to the past, if you didn't have any beliefs attached to the past, if you didn't have any yeah buts attached to the past, if you didn't have any excuses attached to the past, well, what will my family say? Well, what will my friends say? None of that. If you could just from here, if you were a newborn baby playing in creation, what would you create? And then anything that tries to tell you anything other than is your ego, and it's tied to the past, and that's what has to be released, because everything that you have been moving through the last 6 months with Pluto entering Aquarius in January, that full moon in Leo in January, the new moon in Aquarius in February. I was looking back to things that happened end of January, beginning of February, and the things that I was calling in then are now coming to fruition now. And it's like, and I had to fucking sit through the goddamn mud and the shadows and the identity work for the last 6 months. And it has not been pretty, let me tell you. It has not been pretty. It has been really uncomfortable. It has been really emotional. It has been very emotional. It's been very shadowy. But the work fucking works, and what you do in the dark will come to light. And now I can see that the manifestations and the things that I've been working for and towards the last 6 months are coming to fruition now. And the thing is, it's like when I set my sights on them 6 months ago, I like didn't feel like I was an automatic match to receive them. You know what I mean? Like I was still dealing with some self-doubt, some self-confidence, being like, I don't know, is this like too much for me to ask for? And now I'm just like, yeah, no, done. done and done. It's happening because I'm in alignment for it, and the universe can just surprise me with how it wants to delight me. And that's just what it is. That's just what's happening. And so you did the work and you've gone this far, and now it's time to be rewarded, and you have to actually just love yourself through it to move into allowing yourself to receive it, right? Because it is a law of give and take. What you put out, you will be matched back. But what happens is people then, when it comes back, is they close. And that's not how you expand your edges. You have to expand your capacity by being able to hold the stress and the expansion at the same time. And that looks like facing your fucking fears and moving through the doubt and holding yourself in the energy of what you know is on the other side, and seeing yourself in your success, and seeing yourself in your light, and seeing yourself in your truth, and seeing yourself in your authenticity, and seeing yourself in your creative expression, and loving the shit out of yourself through it. Can't stress this enough. Be your own fucking best cheerleader and your biggest fan, because all of the abundance is through you working through these patterns of self-sabotage from your past. And I promise you, you will be blown the fuck away with what is on the other side if you can hold yourself through it in light. Because you can't close your heart and expect yourself to receive. Can you feel the pain of the growing pains and not close your heart? That's a real fucking flex, right? I was having this conversation with myself yesterday. I was like, damn girl, no one will actually ever know what you've been through, nor does it really fucking matter anymore, right? But I was like, you are still fucking so loving and such a delight and so strong, but so open on the other side. And I think that is fucking beautiful, and I think that is fucking powerful, right? Because no one is putting the motherfucking Jack back in the box. The Jack in the box, she's out. She's out to fucking play. And nothing that anyone can say externally is gonna fucking put me back in my goddamn box. And with that full moon in fucking Aquarius, August 19th, square Uranus, you better be out the fucking box too, bitch. Because when you're out of the box and when you're out of your comfort zone is where the fucking riches lie. The rich fucking rewards. And I'm talking bigger than you can even goddamn imagine. Bigger. And so allow this Mercury retrograde to show you where you're in your own way, and like just be a little bit of a detective and be like, okay, this is where I'm seeing myself. Just be on high alert and have a lot of self-awareness, because in order to break free of your patterns, you have to have awareness and you have to be able to be honest with yourself to see what's happening. And you honestly just actually need support too, because there's just stuff that your ego will blind you from fucking seeing, because it needs to keep that story and that pattern alive to keep you fucking safe. And so, you know, support is just required, because it's, actually I don't want to say it's required, it's just faster and easier. And if you value faster and easier, then get yourself support, whatever that looks like for you. And so allow things to fucking crumble this month. Allow things to fucking crumble so that you can come into your power as the creator. Because there is so much creation energy available. It's Leo season. A lot of Uranus energy. A lot of opening. Surprises, blessings, breakthroughs. But it requires you to look within, because whenever there's a retrograde, it's a time to turn within. And can you just hold yourself in the light and only focus on the light no matter what fucking chaos is happening externally, right? Because we can always see the astrology play out collectively. There's a lot of chaos, right? There's a lot of fucking chaos going on. There's a lot of uncertainty. there's a lot of chatter, right? There's a lot of dark energy at play. But when you can hold yourself in your light and know where you're going and tap into your ability to create and know how to leverage the astrology to your creatorship, to where you want to go, that's how you become fucking powerful. So powerful. Because you are not letting the external dictate you. You are dictating the external. And that is the flip that needs to be switched. You are happening to life. Life is not happening to you. And I promise you, from there, the world will open up fucking waterfalls of blessings for you and to you. So I want that for you. I know you want that for yourself too. So if you want support moving through any of this month, I'm so excited to be holding space again for Venetian Bitch. This is my signature offer. This is going to be my 5th fucking round of this container. I've held dozens of women through this space, connecting you back to your heart, because this is really my passion and my purpose. I was like a fucking Leo magnet when I was younger. I was a 5th house moon, South Node in Leo. And then I lost touch with my magic and the world happened. And I was really fucking like miserable and unhappy for a lot of my life. And I have done the work to peel back all of the onion layers, I like to say, to tap back into my magnetism. And it is so worth all of the hurt, all of the work, all of the suffering that I had to go through to be this version of myself. And I'm so proud of myself. And, you know, I make this container very applicable for you to save you time, to save you pain. That I like, if I can just keep people from suffering, to come back into their hearts and know exactly how to become more of themselves, to liberate themselves from the past, to experience more joy and more play and more pleasure and more happiness. Like, this is just literally my mission, because I spent decades disconnected from myself, and that is valuable time that I wish I had just spent loving myself, quite honestly. And that is really like the human journey. It's like, how much can we just like learn to honor ourselves and love ourselves and hold ourselves in bright, new, shiny ways. And so if Venetian Bitch is calling for you, I've revamped this, I'm reinventing it. It is going to be 12 weeks of transformation, connecting you back to your heart, your authenticity, in whatever way that looks like for you. And it's everything that I've had to move through as a woman myself, like the identity work, the body work, the energetic work, the shadow work, the mindset work, which really goes back to the body IMO, to really just be this version of myself and really come back into balance with the masculine and feminine polarities within you, to come into that inner union, which will then lay the foundations for you to be in relationship as well. Because when you just become the woman, everything that you want becomes a result of you being that woman. So everything really is internally sourced and self-sourced, and you being so strong and solid and confident in yourself, everything else in your life is just going to be automatic because it's attracted to that energy. So your job really is just your alignment. Once you have clarity of who you are and what that looks like, it's really, you just got to, it's simple, but you just got to do the work to become it. So inside this container, I teach you exactly how. I teach you how to work with energy, to manifest, to create. These are all just laws that we all have available to us. And so inside this container, I'm teaching you exactly how to become the powerful creator that you are born to be, so that all of your desires are just automatic, and manifestation is a way of life. So I'll post all the links for that in the show notes. But it's going to be a really abundant and beautiful and blessed month. I'm super excited. It feels really powerful, but it does feel like kind of spicy. So support makes moving through that a lot easier, to point out your blind spots and get where you want to the other side very, very much so quicker. So sending you lots of love. August is going to be great. So go out and have fun and celebrate your damn self. Bye.